I don't think that you have to be rich to have some good advice on how to save money. I think we all probably have some good, fun, unique tips that we can share, but for some reason we think that it's only logical to take that advice from somebody who is wealthy. Maybe not. Now, just because somebody may have great advice and practice good things doesn't mean that the money that they save, they don't end up spending on something else, but they could have good tips that we could actually utilize. So on today's Money Article Monday, I found an article that's called Non-Rich People Are Sharing Clever Ways to Save Money, and they're genius. Some of these are unique and I hadn't thought of before, so I had to share them with you all. But if you are new here, my name is Jennifer. I'd love to hang out more. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can come back to my channel. I make videos on saving money, leading a simple life. I'm also documenting our journey to paying off our mortgage by the year of 2024. So I would love to have you back to hang out more. This article is unique because it's not necessarily from one person, okay? It's from BuzzFeed.com. It was posted on August the 11th and it was by Ryan Shaka. And as always, I have the articles that I reference in these videos linked down below for you to read in its entirety because I don't read everything that's in it. This is from, I guess, BuzzFeed staff. It says, on Wednesday, Reddit user Paper Blady asked, what is a clever way to save money that most people don't realize? People came through with some truly genius and clever ways of saving their coins. So I thought it would be fun. I've only read a couple of these to go through, see if there's anything new that maybe I didn't know or maybe you didn't know. I'm sure there's going to be some things that we already do as a frugal community, but let's see what it has to say. So each of these tips are from different, I guess, users of Reddit. So I'm not even going to try to pronounce the name of the person who left the tip. Again, check it out in the article linked down below because it's a username. So the first one is politely make a counter offer when you get a job offer. It's actually expected and there's pretty much zero risk in doing so as long as you don't turn it into an ultimatum. So has anybody ever done that, had a job offer and countered? I have never done that. I never thought that it was the polite or a thing to do. I thought the polite thing to do is either you accept it or you don't. I never thought about countering. Does that work? Because I guess I'm probably lost out on some money if I haven't countered. But yeah, as long as you don't turn it into an ultimatum, I think if you are a very much a professional, maybe that would be something to do. But I guess it's kind of like, we don't have a problem negotiating buying a car, but our salaries, why wouldn't we negotiate it? So I think that's a great way because saving money is not always about actually saving on what you're buying. You actually become wealthy or rich or whatever and are able to buy things based on your income. So, that makes sense, right? Number 2, every time you want to buy something special, impulse buying, by principle, postpone it for 1 week. If you forget it, you really didn't need it. I love this tip. One of my subscribers posted a tip on one of my frugal videos that what they do is they have a family board of things that they want and they write it on there and they reevaluate it each month. If you want something, an impulse buy, something you thought you wanted at that time, you write it on the board and then at the end of each month they reevaluate it. And she said that most of the time they have found that they no longer even wanted what was on that board. And we all know kids just want whatever's in the moment. Maybe a month later, they would think of something they'd rather have instead of what they didn't already get. So I think that is also a great tip. Number 3 says, my rule of thumb is to wait 1 day for every $100. If after those days I still want it, I buy it. I think that could be, I don't know that necessarily could be good for some people if on their budgets, if a couple $200-300 is a really expensive thing. But I still think a good rule of thumb, maybe you say for every $50 you wait a day. But hey, if that's one of the things with these are, if that's your rule, if you create a rule for yourself, then it puts you back to being, responsible. So, as a child, right, we would say, oh, we want ice cream for dinner, or oh, we just want to drink Coca-Cola all day long. Well, we had parents to say that's not a good idea. Well, as adults, we don't have anybody telling us that. So we have to parent ourselves, as we say. So if you could put rules like this into place, it gives you those boundaries that you had when you were younger, to help curve that impulse, I guess. Number 4 is to make your own food. It's creative and can save tons of money, especially when it comes to eating out. Eating out has gotten so expensive. My goodness. I was at a restaurant, and I used to, before I went vegetarian vegan, I used to love crab cakes. And now I actually have a video on my channel where I make a chickpea crab cake, and it's delicious. And it tastes just like a crab cake. But I was at a restaurant and they said, sorry, but I wasn't ordering it, it was somebody else. We don't have crab cakes because I guess the crab meat was so expensive right now. I mean, is there a shortage of crabs? I understand other things going up, and crab meat was already really, really expensive, but they said we don't want to sell it right now because we would have to charge so much just to be able to make it as a dish for you. But everybody's prices are going up. I mean, you go to Chipotle, you go anywhere now, and the amount of money you get, or the amount of food you get now for what you have to pay is so much less. Number 5, learn to fix things rather than instinctively replacing them or paying someone to fix them. YouTube is quite educational. There's so many things you can learn to do on the YouTube. Now, I know I brought this up before about, trying to fix things. That's what they did back in the day. And now things are made with what's called planned obsolescence. They're supposed to not last as long as, grandma's toaster, which is 50 years old and still working. Sometimes it has a little burn smell, but sometimes it doesn't. But the point is, sometimes it will cost more to repair something, and I think that's purposeful. I think replacement parts for something are more expensive because they want you to buy a new thing versus trying to fix it. But there are still things that you could fix and save money. Sometimes it's not worth the time or effort. Number 6, learn to love water. Get a good reusable bottle and just bring one everywhere. It's the best thing for your health, and that $2 or $3 tax buying a drink whenever you're out is avoided. Yes, gosh, the cost of soda. I remember when we went to Aruba once. It's the only time I've ever been out of the country. It was our honeymoon. And I remember shockingly that a glass of milk was this big. It was $4. Now, this was like 11 years ago. That shocked the mess out of me. And this was 11 years ago. I can't imagine going there now and how much a glass of milk would actually be. I think it was just a shipping thing to the island or whatever it was. But the cost of just any kind of a drink out is so much more expensive than water. Now, I do have a question. Can any of you, I want a good reusable water bottle. I have used these Copco ones from Amazon, but the thing came off, and I have my Yeti, which I keep my tea in, but I would really like a good water bottle that's gonna be insulated, that keeps my water cold, but is more of the shape of a water bottle. If anybody has any suggestions, please leave them down below, and maybe what the name brand, where I can buy them. If I've seen the Swell or whatever bottles, what do you think is a good water bottle that you take everywhere that isn't a Yeti? Number 7, I mostly drink alcohol at home before I go out. It saves some bucks considering drinks can be expensive. Yes, that would be called pre-gaming. Number 8, never go shopping hungry. Yes. Whenever my husband goes shopping hungry at Costco, he comes home with a lot. The last time he came home, and I don't eat dairy anymore, but let me tell you, ice cream sandwiches, it's not the stuff in the middle, but the chocolate is on another level, the amount that I love those things. He comes home with a box of assorted ice cream sandwiches, cones, etc. And I have no problem avoiding ice cream now. I just don't have an issue. But the ice cream sandwich part, yeah, I will tell you that I did have to cave, and I cut off the part of the ice cream, just the chocolate part, and I had half of it. Yeah, I did that. Now, I'm not reading all of these. I'm skipping a few of them, okay? So you can definitely check out the article down below and read the rest. Number 10, 10% of all you earn is yours to keep, said the richest man in Babylon. After I read this, I started transferring 10% to another bank account. Doesn't seem like much when you start, but it starts adding up over time. I mean, if you think about 10%, let's say you make $1,000 a week, $4,000 a month, that's $400 a month. Now, keep in mind, I hope that you're putting some of this money into retirement first, and then maybe you're saving 10% on top. But I do think it's a good idea. Automatically transfer it. So out of sight, out of mind, you never saw it there, and it didn't hurt to move it because it just went there already. The next one is don't buy the cheapest option. Buy a couple of steps above it. The cheapest washing machine will last you 3 years, and then you have to buy a new one. Just wait for a special offer, Black Friday, or some sort of clearance, and get the last year's model for a discounted price. Completely agree on this one. Don't buy the cheapest model. Do your research. I've talked about this before. I bought a vehicle, and I researched while I was saving up to pay for it. I researched the entire time, and I've never been happier with a vehicle purchase. And I've had it now for 18 months, and I'm still completely happy. I have no want or need to look at a different vehicle because I did extensive research. I didn't buy the cheapest option or the most expensive option. I found the best one that worked for me. So yeah. But sometimes, though, the cheapest option may be the best option. But what you're going to find is if, let's say you want to go buy furniture, and you're going to go, supply your house with all IKEA furniture. Well, guess what? It's not going to last that long. It's going to start to chip. You're going to hit it with a vacuum cleaner. The fiberboard's going to pop off. Things like that are going to happen. So honestly, things like for consignment for furniture, because people just are move or downsize or move out of the country, there are so many consignment places you can get nice furniture. There are plenty of places you can get it for on sale. You can go onto an online market where somebody else is doing a moving sale and get quality pieces for less possibly than you would end up spending at one of these, places where you can buy the cheap stuff. The next one is buy from restaurant supply stores. Some are open to the public. You can get everything from dishware to appliances at 30 to 50% off the cost of premium cooking store. Lots of good knives as well. I have never done this. Does anybody know if this is true, if there's a good restaurant supply store chain? I think this is very interesting and something that I want to look into to see if there's one near me where I can get one of these deals. Okay, this last one that I'm going to read, I don't agree with. I'm sorry. I'll read it, but I don't agree with it. Stop using cash and absolutely stop using debit. Get a credit card. Pay it off completely every month. Going out for drinks with friends? Instead of everyone splitting it on their debit cards, have your friends all Venmo you what they owe. Then put the full bill on your credit card. Then pay the bill off by transferring the money in your Venmo to your credit or checking account. It's literally free money, whether you get 1 to 3% cash back or airline points or rewards. I have had some people go to town in my comments about, credit cards, using credit cards, that 1 to 2% cash back. If you are disciplined enough, I don't care. Do it. Do what you want. It's not affecting me. It absolutely is not. Okay. My personal opinion is that credit cards get a lot of people in trouble. I was there. I got in trouble. I was in a lot of credit card debt in my 20s. And the problem is because a lot of people are not disciplined in it. They do not understand. And yes, you can pay it off every month. But if you are the type of person that's waiting for your paycheck to pay it off, so let's say at the beginning of the month you start charging all of your expenses on your card, right? And you don't actually have that money in the account, in your checking account. By the end of the month, you get paid, so you take that payment and you pay off the credit card. Great, fine, wonderful. Wait a minute. What if you get hurt, you get laid off, you get fired, your business closes down, and you no longer have that paycheck at the end of the month? But all month you've been charging, and I can't pay it off like I was going to. Like everybody said, pay it off every month. It's fine. You won't pay the interest. It's not about that. That happens to people too. The point is, you have to be prepared, having it already in the account in case something happens. So if you want to take advantage of any of these points, rewards, whatever, already have the money in your account. Have it ahead a month. Don't pay it off with that next month's paycheck. Pay it off as soon as you charge it. I mean, if you want it to do that, then, have a credit card and debit card that are linked together in the same bank. Credit unions do this. And, you have a charge, go ahead and move the money immediately because you already had it in there. You weren't expecting and waiting on a paycheck. I am just telling you that is a slippery slope. A lot of people are not disciplined enough to even do that. They spend and spend and spend and don't keep track of it, and then overspend and don't even have enough money from the paycheck to pay it off. I've been there, I've done that. If you want to use credit cards, hey, it doesn't bother me. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I am definitely going to check out the restaurant supply store. Let me know if you learned anything else. And as always, I love to hear if there's any fun, frugal, or just creative ways that you save money. Put those down in the comments below. Also, if you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed to my channel. I would love to have you back for more videos.